Welcome guys! So let's give it a shot. Here's the first video of my reading of my book More Worth Than Money or Gold. So please excuse me if the sound isn't pretty much as we Germans say, das Gelbe vom Ei, das Gelbe from the Eye, the yellow from the egg, so which is meaning not the best sound. I'm still learning on doing YouTube videos and yeah, doing stuff on YouTube. So I hope it isn't that much of a catastrophe at all. I'm having here a shotgun mic hanging over my head. I will show it you now. So that is my setup. And yeah, besides that, I'm trying to build up my new bands. I have attached the keyboards with MIDI system stuff, cable, and yeah, just big stuff. And yeah, so let's jump right into that book from me, which is called More Worth Than Money or Gold. I will link it in the description below so you can find it and you can order it if you're interested in. I will read the first chapter, which is the preface, which is called What is this book about? For whom was this book written? This is a self-coaching book. It is written to help you to figure out your hidden strengths, which you are now unable to see because society, or the ones who have raised you up, caused you to be a now downscaled version of yourself just by implementing what they have been taught from the very ancestors themselves. It is not your fault that you are not feeling the way you are supposed to feel. And it is not your fault that you feel low or in some situations even kinda unworthy. But how you live your life is clearly your fault. This book is for all who want to take their life in their very own hands because life is a do it yourself project. This book is for all the dreamers who got told to stop dreaming now or to act like an adult now. And it is also a book for all the people who constantly seek self-improvement and constant growth. This is not a theory book. This is a book for doers, for grinders, for the people who really want to become more confident in everything they do. So you wanna work for it. My name is Christina Earlymorn. Some may know me from my Instagram account of me being a musician and a fashion lover. On the next pages, I will tell you why I've written this book. I've written this book because I struggled a lot with worries, self-doubt, anxiety, and stress myself. I wasn't always wearing my favorite clothes. I wasn't always speaking up for myself. In fact, I was bullied in school. I grew up in a low-class household as an unwanted child. Yes, I was an accident, but I refer to myself that I was the happy accident. The mindset of my parents has always been a believe in God and say yes mindset. Simply, do not cause any trouble, be friendly and God-fearing. Nothing against God, honestly, but I really cannot get warm with his/her fan clubs after what I have been through when I was a young child back in elementary school. At 6 years old, we were schooled. We had a very friendly class teacher. I can remember her pretty well as she drove with a BMW Z3 Roadster into the parking spot reserved for her. By the way, I really love BMW cars. Beamer here and another Beamer here. Our classes have been divided by hours over the day. For example, you may know this yourself when you had attended school. 1 hour of math taught by Mrs. A. 2 hours of sports thought by Mr. H, and on and on and on. In Bavaria, everything is pretty Catholic and conservative. We had a class called needlework, which was taught by a Catholic nun. She was more evil than good because she randomly picked on children she didn't like and did horrible things to them. I was one of the kids she didn't like. Whenever she could, she was screaming at me. When I accidentally broke the needle or I wasn't able to put the thread through the hole of the needle, she was pulling me in front of the class and yelled at me big time. She managed to scare the hell out of me and out of the entire class of little young children. You all may thinking now, why nobody did something about it, or why I didn't just simply told it to my parents about it. Well, you must know that my father never really had interest in me. He was only there to criticize me and to tell me what I am allowed to do. To be more honest and more precise, he more often told me what I can't do, to be honest. My mother was very shy, and because of that, she made herself addicted to my dad, who controlled really everything. I also have an 11 years older brother, who couldn't connect to his younger sister, which was of course me. He often told me horror stories together with his friends that of course scared the hell out of me. But I promise you that nothing was scarier than me being locked these 2 endless hours together with that nun teaching us the handicraft and needlework lessons every effing week. May you know that feeling of complete fear and distress, which I had as a young 6-year-old child every week over and over and over. She pulled me by the hair, she slapped me with her flat hand on my cheek, grabbed me by the clothes, and later then molested me in the little side room the classroom had for storage. I won't go into detail what she did to me, but it caused me a major trauma, which still haunts me today. I still have nightmares, and often I wake up covered in sweat and tears. And that is a fact. So, if you are a molestation survivor yourself, ultimate shout out to you and kudos to you because you are stronger than all. Do not forget this. You are stronger than all. Let's see how my story went on and how I managed to overcome everything. That, my friends, was the first chapter of More Worth Than Money or Gold. I will link it in the description box below so you can check it out. And as promised, because this book is having task sheets for self-improvement, I will do with you the first task sheet, which is the morning task. I split this up into morning and evening task so you can grind on yourself in the morning and grind on yourself on the same day in the evening. And the first task is saying find 3 things you are good in and write it down. So maybe you could brainstorm 3 things and write it down in the comment box below. I would be pretty glad to read it. And yeah, what would I write down? I always suggest on these task sheets to use a pencil instead of a regular pen, because with the pencil you can erase it out later if you wanna steady improve yourself. So, what would I read down? 3 things where I am good at. Well, at least I would say I am okay in playing guitar. I can at least play 2 notes or 3 notes. Yeah, I think guitar playing is definitely a point. The next point would be fashion. Of course, I really do love fashion, and I'm, in my opinion, good at combining it. And yeah, it's just that thing. And the third thing would be, what would be the third thing I'm good at? Well, I worked the last 10 years as a geriatric caring nurse for older people, for the elderly, and well, I'm a good listener, and I can lift up people emotionally, you know. I think that's the 3 points I'm good at: playing guitar, dressing my ass up, and yeah, lifting up people. So I would be very great to read the comments below with 3 things where you're good at, and I will stop now because I'm beginning to get a knot in my tongue, beginning to get brain freeze. So yeah, I will continue reading this book, but I cannot promise you every week, you know, so I try to do my best, but please keep also in mind that I'm also building up here the studio. I'm trying to also create music for my new band. I just hooked up the keyboard with some MIDI sample and cables and stuff, which I mentioned earlier. And yeah, I wish you all the best wherever you are, if it's morning, day, evening, or night. Be blessed, my friends. I wish you happy. I wish you all the best. Stay healthy. Stay wherever the F you want. Metal, jazz, or blues, I don't care. Yeah, just dig it. You only live once, and yeah, I will be happy if we could do the hang together another time. Bye.